what this is, but I'm almost 100% sure that you do. But you know what indigo gabbro is?
Indigo what?
Indigo gabbro.
No, not really.
In the general terms of markets that sell and trade rocks and crystals, they call it merlinite.
Merlinite.
Now, you and I understand that crystals and rocks, and everything in the world, in the universe, has a vibrational frequencies that we as humans can utilize to our benefit. And
Yeah.
through visual spectrum and vibrational spectrums of color, right? The reason why you see color is
Mm-hmm.
because of the vibrational spectrum and why what it vibrates for your eyeballs to see the color. That
Exactly.
indigo is one of the thinnest, most rare bands of vibration in existence on our planet. And
No, not not
merlinite,
really. But yeah.
or the color indigo, and its vibrational frequency, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely rare to have, to find,
No.
amongst all of the other vibrations. That, you know how, like, if you have certain crystals that you can bind up energies inside of them and need to use like selenite or other means to clear the energy that's inside of it, so that way you can continue to use the crystals or rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Indigo gabbro is an all chakra. It's all chakras. Its vibrational properties are so um, what's the word? I want to say rare, or they're so intricate that they actually clears itself. It has properties that clear itself of negative and positive
There,
frequencies you use
there's
into it.
more. Yeah, there's more crystals that do that.
Yep, it has elements of fire and earth, and its key properties are psychic abilities, availabilities to have more clear dreams. It boosts your creativity, your intuition. It helps you to connect with your past lives. It helps you with your clairvoyance, your emotional understanding, and helps you with lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Uh, also, if you have a slab of this stuff and you get headaches because you have too many electronics around, um, you can use it as a electromagnetic frequency blocker. It actually blocks those frequencies from you. Uh, it's a very interesting stone. Very interesting stone.
The first thing I'd say is that your skeleton is the most powerful mineral that you will ever get your hands on. Your own bones, your own skeleton is made up of the minerals and is in direct energetic connection to the living library.
Hmm. I've heard
So
that.
the most important crystal that you have and you will ever lay your hands on is your own bones, is your own skeleton. So all the minerals outside that you can hold, they can help, of course, and they can give you a sample of the vibration. But if you can take the merlinite if you feel inclined to, and then just visualize that your whole bone structure is adapting the frequency of the stone. So you can just visualize your skeleton becoming like the stone, like the mineral that you have in your hands, for example. That's a way to do it. But the indigo, the biggest, the closest reference I have to the indigo vibration is actually when the sun goes down at sunset, when the sky becomes dark blue. That's actually one of the most, and indigo, and together with the dark blue, the blue black, The blue black is actually the indigo. It's more of a purple, mauve, blue black is the 10th dimension. That's the 10th dimensional energy. And I've learned that the blue black or the indigo is the most powerful energy to clean your mind, to empty your mind with. So also to clean the cells of all the lingering thoughts that you have had. So in the nighttime, when the sun sets and and the sky becomes blue black, then I feel the feeling that you get. You know, the atmosphere. For me, that comes very close to the indigo vibration.
Yeah, when I went and got this uh, Indigo Gabbro, you were the first person I thought of to speak about these types of things with, because I mean I've used it to um, so I slept wrong, right? So like the right side of my neck was all fucked, and my right shoulder, like I could feel it like taking on some of the pain. So when I moved my right arm around, like it hurt, right? And yesterday I was just laying on the couch watching TV. It was like my woman's birthday was yesterday, so we were just kind of lounging around like old people do. And I
Like old people do.
I took this. It's a palm stone that I have, and I took it and I put it in the crook of my neck and laid on it on the pillow for a while.
Oh,
Of course, I
nice.
have intent. I'm not just some ninny that just goes and lays on shit. I like had actual intent for what I was doing, so I appropriated that intent to like actually use it for the properties in which I had
Uh-huh.
intended. Um, and I noticed uh, after sitting up for about laying on it for maybe half hour that my neck no longer hurt, and this stone was hotter than my body was.
Yep.
And I, since it clears itself, I didn't need to go put it on a solenoid or cut any attachments to it. Like you can just run it underwater and it
Mm.
clears it even further, right? And
You
also cools it off.
you know
And
what
then I took
stones are? No, no, go ahead. Sorry.
and then I took it and I put it like underneath my shirt and wrapped it in my shirt right on my shoulder, right? Because I could feel the pain starting to move down my body away. And I'll shit you not, man. Like there's been some impressive things that I've like the first time I ever meditated and like had like that out of body. I'm not really sure if I fell asleep and I'm dreaming, but I am kind of sure because I can feel the ground and I can hear the noises and all the stuff around me. So it was really kind of a freaky thing that happened to me the first time I ever meditated.
Of course.
And that was a weird thing, like that I was like telling people about, but I've never actually used stones or crystals in a way where it accelerated those types of things to a phenomenal type of level. But I will say that after I put it on my neck and I put it on my shoulder, that no pain, none, not at
Mm.
all. I woke up
One
today, I feel great.
one great method I use, and it's a very ancient method, is just you take the stone and then you become relaxed. You start breathing deeply, gently. You empty your mind, and then either you make yourself so small that you can enter the stone, or you make the stone so big that you can enter it. You just visualize it. You make the stone that's big as a room, and then you just go inside. You project yourself inside that cave, so inside that room, and this will greatly enhance the properties and the messages that the stone can relay to you, for example.
Have you guys
That's how
ever
I
heard
do
of
it.
Have you guys ever heard of
When I want to
phenakite with a pH?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but let
So
me see.
this is I mean, I haven't bought any, and I want to. Apparently, it like retains its coldness. It's a real high vibration stone. I guess it pairs pretty good with moldavite as well. But like, so it like retains its coldness like crazy, like ice, but it doesn't melt, obviously. Messed up neck. I would
Dude,
that would be like one for like
okay, so this
and
Indigo Gabbro
shoulder.
I bought a
Next
one
T-shirt.
that's big enough for my just my palm. I can't even wrap my hand around it for about $12, right? And if since I bought it as the Indigo Gabbro, it's actually cheaper because marketing wise, if they call it Merlinite, for some reason they add 4 times the value to it. However,
Uh-huh.
5 8 carats of phenakite is $870, bro. You realize?
What?
Yeah, it's almost like price wise of a diamond.
But this is stupid because you can. I took a picture. I pulled up some pictures of phenakite just now on Google, and I'm looking at the images. And from looking at the images, I can get a sense of the vibration of the stone. And then I just tune into my skeleton, and I tune into the earth, and then I just ask for that vibration, and then it comes flowing. If I just sit still and focus long enough, and with my breathing and with my heart and with my intention on it, then that vibration starts overflowing me. It just starts flowing from my feet into my body. So I don't. Okay, it's fun to have a stone in your hand. It makes it easier because you don't have to focus as much because you have the stone in your hand. You can just feel it, and then you can feel the vibration like that. It's really easy. So it's just a small extra step. Okay, you have to have an attention span that's long enough for stuff to actually start happening. But it's a small step, once you can do it. I mean, now I just tune into the ores of gold inside the earth, and then my skeleton starts to fill up with gold, the golden vibration. You don't have to go
So
buy a.
somehow, photon, and you know this is true. It takes some people their entire lives to be able to get to such an advanced level, even anywhere near what you're
Not
suggesting.
necessarily, not necessarily. It
But
just
most
takes
people, yes,
it
necessarily.
just takes a little bit longer attention span than you're used to. That's it. You just have to become used to visualizing a few things at the same time. If you can keep your attention inside of your body and then focus on the vibration of gold, and then also utilize the geometric shape of a square, of a cube. If you can hold these three at the same time in your attention for long enough, I mean, like few minutes, then you should start to feel the vibrations overflowing you, and then it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I do exercises with people to lengthen their attention span.
Yeah.
It's not so hard.
Otherwise, you have hyperbolic chambers that you could use to help.
Well, the thing is, technology is very neat, and it can be helpful, but we have to. But I think it's natural for us to be able to do these things without external props.
I think I'm going to be
Because
buying some of this phenakite.
Watch
Thanks,
watch a
Joe.
video. Watch a video on YouTube of like people that have used it. They'll use it like and man, like I swear, like this one interests me more than any of them really. But you got me pretty intrigued on the Indigo one. So
Yeah, look up stuff on Indigo Gabbro, especially if you're a conspiracy person that's worried about human created frequencies that aren't so natural to the human body that may affect your
I
skeleton.
think I'm down with getting that shit off of me. Um, and maybe photon. Like, do you ever use the quote unquote stars or planets as
Yes,
well? Because like
yes,
those are sending vibrations for sure, right?
yes, of course. Every planet in our solar system is a cosmic being, so it's a consciousness. And every
And every
time
time
I
I,
go
sorry,
Every time I merge with the solar system, for example, I greet every planet as a god, goddess. And every time I get completely immersed, let's say for let's say Venus, the planet Venus, and every time, and I have this with every planet, when I merge with a planet, it's like I'm coming home, and loads of family members are there waiting for me, and they're greeting me, and they're saying, "Oh, it's such a long time since you came visit us," and that kind of feeling. I have it every time. Now I'm wait, no, the last few months I was working with Cassiopeia, because Cassiopeia was popping up in my view, at night. So yeah, yeah, of course. But again, even the planets in the solar system represent a vibration that is already inside of our bodies, because there is no outside, there is no inside, external, internal. They're just arbitrary, artificial borders, actually. And it's so once you get rid of that border, then it becomes so much easier. And then I've come to a point where I say that I don't care where the energy, where the information comes from. I don't care where the information comes from. I only care about the quality of the information.
Have you have you paid any attention to Beetlejuice? The last, I think the last couple of days, there's been suspicion that there's been a heightening of the luminosity of it, and that there may be potential that we're going into the phase of however many light years. I think it's 500 or 5,000 light years away from us. Still pretty close. And one of the biggest stars in our closest vicinity was going into a supernova. Which, I mean, if
Ah.
we're able to see it happening, that means that the waves of frequencies are now currently hitting us just now. Have you
Hmm.
noticed any of those things, or do you feel any of those things? Do you think?
I am noticing a lot of things. The last 3 4 days I've been noticing very, very big changes in consciousness. But like I said, I don't know exactly where it comes from. I just observe the effects that it has on my body and what it does with my consciousness, and then I just play with it.
Did I say that
No,
it
I've been.
happened? That it happened 2 3 days ago, or did you just notice that there was a change? Because it did. It happened the 22nd, 2 days ago.
You mentioned a few days ago, but it's been a few days. I'm feeling very different. I'm feeling very different. I'm feeling like just I'm going to embark on a completely new life. I feel that I'm ending a lot of stuff, and a lot of new turns, big turns, in my life are happening.
Which
And
is kind of funny because a supernova is the end of a long journey of that particular star and the beginning of a new journey of it
and
being a totally
yes,
different type of star.
yes, in spiritual circles, it is said that the Earth is also becoming a star. So we are actually still in the embryo phase. Earth itself, it's kind of like in an embryo stage from the third dimension. So it's gonna go back up, like fourth, fifth. A lot of people are actually entering fifth dimension, and I'm a fool, I'm an idiot like that. I want to know the specifics, but for a lot of people it's not important to know the specifics. I like to put words on it, but no, I've been dabbling with Andromeda, the Andromeda galaxy, and the dingen Arcturians, and Sirius, the Syrians also. The last 3 months have been, for me specifically, predominantly a lot of information and connection with Sirius, Bashar and all that stuff. And I've been connecting to the pyramid also, the Great Pyramid, because I've been listening to the Archaics videos also with Jason, and he's a chrono dude, a chronologist, and he's been giving out information about the pyramid, and it really connects with the info that I previously had on the pyramids. And so for everyone on Earth right now who wants to be aligned, who wants to align themselves with the natural frequencies, to get rid of the electrosmog and all uh, distraction that's being put on us. To the most powerful way that I've come to use in the last few months is to merge with the pyramid. Simple. Just merge with the pyramid completely. And from merging with the pyramid, I started to merge with Ayers Rock in Australia and also Machu Picchu and even Masta in some cases. But yeah, anyway, I'm just an idiot like that. It's been 20 years since I've been doing this, so uh, I can't do without it anymore. If I go one day without grounding or meditation, I feel horrible. But again, use your skeleton. Go inside. If you want a mineral in your hand, just visualize your skeleton in that mineral. So visualize that your skeleton is golden. Visualize that your skeleton is silver. Visualize that your skeleton is silver. Visualize that your skeleton is amethyst, phenakite, moldavite, whatever. Shungite is also a very fun stone to play with because it's very lightweight and it also cleans its environment. Black tourmaline is also one of these stones. Black tourmaline is a very powerful stone to get rid of electrosmog, magnetic fields and stuff like that. So if you really want one, if you really want to get a mineral, uh, yeah, I suggest get some shungite or black tourmaline or selenite, like you said. But the selenite, don't
Yeah,
make it wet.
definitely not. Which
Don't
I
make it
have
wet.
all of those, by the way. I utilize them for certain intents, of course.
And the thing is, if you want to clean stones, you can use tap water, just running water. I've had a stream nearby, a natural water stream, and I just put a bag of stones on a stick, and then I put it in the water for however long it feels good, like one night, 2 nights, 3 nights. And the running water is important to clean the stones. But what you can also do, because stones, they like cold, so if you put your stone in a freezer or in the fridge, a lot of stones really like that. Or you can put them in a bowl of salt. That's it's also very known. You take a bowl of salt, put the stone in it, and when you feel it, and what I always do is, even if I put a stone in a bowl of salt, or even if I put it in a stream of water, or if I put it in the fridge, or even if I put a stone on a picture of the earth, I always visualize, and I take the stone with my intention and I drop it in the center of the earth. So energetically take your stone and energetically
Do
guide it,
you
energetically put it in the center of the earth. And then once, after a few days, you will feel, forget about the stone. After a few days it will pop back up in your mind, and then it's a sign that it's ready. It's ready, it's cleaned, it's been replenished with neutral energy, and then you can go pick it up.
different subject? Have you ever messed around with alchemy?
Alchemy, we always do.
So I heard this guy the other day on a podcast talk about how you can really take any plant, right, and just if you visualize and talk to it, tell it what you want it to do, such as he wanted to grow his hair back. Um, so he like grew some tomatoes and talked to it and told it its intention, and dude grew his fucking hair back
Of
by
course,
making some
of course,
tomato sauce.
of course. If you have a garden, then the vegetables that you grow in your garden are specifically tuned to your vibrational frequency. Those are the herbs that you need for your health. Right? If you go around your house right now and you see herbs, and you didn't there right now. So random herbs that are growing closest to you are the herbs that you need, that your body needs. So if you have a seed, for example, like tomato seeds or whatever, you put the seed in your mouth and you put saliva around it, and then your saliva informs the seed, and then you put the seed in the ground. That's a very ancient shamanic ceremony or ritual. You put the seed in your mouth, let it drown in the saliva, and then plant it in the ground. And then you also
Uh,
infused your
Me, I
frequency
was
in.
just saying that I do the same thing for my cows. I'll let them lick the sweat off of me, and then their milk will change because of my chemical nature.
You let them lick your sweat.
Yeah, give me kisses, when I'm working with them, and
Yeah,
do that to their own calves. In
that's
particular, they
beautiful.
actually do like urine therapy for their own cows. Don't worry, I'm not feeding my cows my pee, but it's fascinating, just the relationship.
It's beautiful. Yeah, of course. People in India, when they get a new kitchen in the house, they take all the cow manure and they just slam it everywhere. They wash the whole kitchen with cow manure because they think it's antiseptic.
I look at it as it's the most abundant food on earth is grass, and cows convert that energy into milk for us. So it's a pretty neat, like, I'm a grass farmer.
If that isn't
I'll just leave.
alchemy,
And
then
it
I don't
really
know what is.
comes to minerals, though. Like, there's been a
Yep.
lot of studies that were swept under the rug in the early 30s in the United States with this man by the name of William Albright. He discovered relationship, the like biochemical relationship between certain minerals in the soil, in the sense that usually minerals are like if you have an excess of one mineral, that creates a deficiency in the mineral that's most closely associated with the electrical bond, which is like similar to, for instance, is calcium and magnesium and such a a relationship. But he went on to say that basically there's such thing as epigens where, depending on the mineral content of the food and the perfect balance that is fertility, uh, you can basically change the genetic code that the subsequent generations pass on, and the bloodline will improve in all qualities.
Yes, exactly. I've seen gardens where people plant vegetables, but before that they put minerals in the ground, but like real, like crystals and stuff, huh? They don't grind them up, they just put
Yeah,
minerals all
one
in the
that's
ground, huh?
readily
And that also
available that
helps.
you can get at your local rock quarry is the rock dust, and that tends to be paramagnetic. It tends to be an igneous rock that is pretty high in trace minerals. But the best trace mineral fertilizer I've ever come across is something called ormus, which is also known as philosopher's stone or milk of
Yes.
magnesia, and it's basically ocean water minus the sodium and the chlorine. And if you do that, you can do that with wood ash by raising the pH, and you precipitate
Yes.
out those two minerals. And this stuff is nothing short of amazing. Of course, I'm all about the fundamentals with the mineral balancing, but then with ormus on top of it and tweaking it, it's like that's the future of agriculture. There's no doubt in my mind.
Cool. So you don't need artificial fertilizer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I'm not extreme to say that organic fertilizer is the only way, um, because actually the microbes in the soil turn organic fertilizers into inorganic minerals that the plant can absorb. So essentially, all food that a plant eats is inorganic.
Yeah, yes,
So
yes, yes, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, it's just because of the news this week. I heard in my country there's the biggest fertilizer producer is shutting down. A whole slew of
that's okay.
factories are shutting
That's
down
okay. That
because they don't have the
that
gas.
needed to happen because sustainability practices that were almost lost will come back in regards to growing your own nitrogen with leguminous plants
Yeah.
as cover crops prior to planting a crop. But the interesting thing is if you do the soil balancing technique, then you need a third less fertilizers. And so it was
Cool.
swept under the rug in the 30s because of Standard Oil. They actually, launched a campaign to just sweep all that knowledge under the rug for the benefit of their bank account and their fertilizer businesses.
Yeah. There's so many solutions that can be acted upon. There's so many solutions that can be brought out, but for in the past there was no money in it, so they never got
I'm
it
excited
into
about
action.
is, yeah, I agree. The thing I'm excited about is, all this technology that has um, progressed in regards to large scale farming is quite exceptional. Now, except for the fact that they use chemical fertilizers, but like from the fact of how much energy, especially man hours, they've made it very automated, and there's a lot of implements that can fit on tractors that make the amount of man hours to grow a certain number of calories very small. And there's like, it doesn't have, it's not all about plowing and tilling and destroying the soil structure. There's things such as like a shovel. It's like a tiller that has shovels, so it doesn't turn the topsoil down
Good.
under the ground. And then there's also like drill seeders where you don't even have to plow or till to seed.
Good, good. Yeah, I like those things. I also discovered that it's best to not plow the land because you're just destroying the topsoil, and the topsoil is the most fertile.
I mean,
So yeah,
for the most part, that's true, but there are exceptions to the rule, especially if you have like extremely clay soil. But yeah, there's a lot of hope in my mind. A lot of hope. We just we need to get back to the purity of our food uh, and nourishing food that's traditional.
yes, yeah, it will come back. Regional crops, which will be sold and which will be sold and manufactured locally. It will come back. Um,
You thought you're sharing what crop your corn crop is that what I see?
that's maize. I'm seeing corn.
Good man.
No, the thing is, I also heard that artificial fertilizer is made from grinding stones and then discarding the discarding discarding a whole lot of it, and it becomes waste. But I was so amazed when I found out.
That's
Grind,
interesting. The most